endoscopes are both high resolution and standard resolution endoscopes. Now, with a high resolution endoscope, you get an accuracy, sensitivity and specificity very similar to what's achieved with narrowband imaging. What was more concerning, however, is what happens if you plug in an older standard resolution endoscope. You can see the accuracy and sensitivity drop quite significantly, and this difference is statistically significant. This translates into a problem with the rescope intervals. You can see some BSG guidelines are just shy of the ASG PIDI standard, and if you look at the ASG standard, you're only just meeting it, and the differences were statistically significant. I think anybody here who comes from a fusion-on unit will know that if you plug an old scope into a fusion-on stack and press the flash button, you get a very grainy, oversaturated image. And that would be why, because it's an old resolution endoscope, and the way it processes the imaging results in a very poor quality image. So I think what we would say is if we're going to make an in vivo diagnosis with FICE, you certainly do need a high resolution endoscope. This is in sharp contrast to what you see with indigo carmine. We don't know whether the same applies to all electronic imaging techniques, or anecdotally, having used older endoscopes in the narrowband imaging system, I see a similar problem with a grainy image, and I suspect it's a problem with any kind of filter system. If you put a filter onto a poor quality data source, you get an even poorer quality image, and I think if you're going to do push-button technologies, you do need a decent endoscope to use it with. Just briefly summarise the data out there with FICE. As we can see, although it's not as much as for narrowband imaging, it's certainly a much more robust picture than there was a few years ago. iScan is the newest toy into the mix. It's the device fitted onto the Pentax endoscopes. It produces a slightly different looking image to what you get with narrowband imaging or FICE, but again the idea is the same, to highlight vascular patterns. Now, we did a study here at Portsmouth looking at iScan. We also looked to see what results you would get if you used a high resolution white light. It's worth stressing that the Pentax scopes have got a very high resolution CCD in the end of the endoscope, which means you're getting a 1.2 million pixel image. It's quite different to what you get with a lot of the other manufacturers. What we found with our data was you've got a very good accuracy, sensitivity and specificity for in vivo diagnosis using iScan. But what was interesting was you got exactly the same results with a high resolution white light. And there's no statistically significant difference between those results. This raises a very exciting concept because it would suggest that as you improve the resolution of the endoscopes, the whole need for an enhancement may become redundant as we just start to see everything with the very high resolution pictures. And I'm sure that all the endoscope manufacturers are improving their image quality. It may be that we find that across the board image enhancement becomes less important.